How do you solve a problem like Sharia? A storm of controversy after the Archbishop of Canterbury suggests that parts of Islamic law might fit Britain.
To recognize Sharia is to recognize a method of jurisprudence governed by revealed texts rather than a single system.
Damage in the parishes where committed worshippers are left bemused and upset.
Not just the Archbishop of Canterbury, but the government as a whole seems to be selling the whole country down the lane.
هذا القرآن يوحدنا لطريق الخير يوجهنا الله تعالى أنزله ورسول الله معلمنا هذا القرآن يوحدنا لطريق الخير يوجهنا الله تعالى أنزله ورسول الله معلمنا
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and we'll come to this lecture about Maqaasid al-Sharia, about some misconceptions about Maqaasid al-Sharia. And just for maybe recording, today is Saturday, the 20th of Rabi' al-Thani, 26th of this month of April 2008. Today's lecture, I believe, is a very, very important lecture. And we will see the importance of this topic once we discuss the details of this topic. Normally, when we discuss any topic, we start by explaining the meaning of the topic or the title, and then we discuss the significance of this title or this topic, and then after that we discuss the details of this topic. However, the issue of the aims of Maqaasid al-Sharia, or the aims and objectives of Sharia, I think the topic is clear in general, so we will not get into details or into the details of this topic. And then the second issue, which is the significance of this topic, will be explored while we are discussing those misconceptions about Sharia. Okay? Aims and objectives of Sharia. What are the aims and objectives of Sharia, or what do we mean by the aims and objectives of Sharia? From the title, we are talking about aims, objectives, or what Sharia wants to do, what Sharia intended to achieve. Okay? What Sharia intended to achieve. Okay? Sharia. So this is in terms of the second part of the first part of the topic, which is aims. Aims of Sharia. Sharia, what does Sharia mean? In general, brothers and sisters, Sharia has two meanings: the specific meaning and the general meaning. In terms of the general meaning, Sharia is nothing but al-Islam. Sharia is nothing but al-Islam. Many people misunderstand this point, okay? And maybe this is one of the misconceptions, is that we differentiate a lot between Sharia and Islam. And that's why, here in the Western context, they say Sharia law. It doesn't make sense, Sharia law. Because Sharia, the word Sharia means law. The word Islam means law. Okay? So there is no Sharia law. Sharia itself is a law. Islam itself is a law. Okay? And then they accept Islam, but they don't accept Sharia. This is again another misconception, because Islam is nothing but Sharia. Sharia is nothing but al-Islam. Okay? Because Sharia is what? Sharia is the revelation of Allah Jalla wa Ala, and Islam is the revelation of Allah Jalla wa Ala. This is in a general sense, and most of the scholars, when they discuss the word Sharia, they discuss Islam. Okay? They also discuss Islam, and they don't differentiate between Sharia and Islam. However, from a specific point of view, some scholars did differentiate, especially contemporary scholars. But previous scholars, I don't remember that any of them clearly differentiate or separate between Sharia and Islam. But some contemporary scholars do differentiate the specific spectrum of Sharia and the general dimension of Sharia. Now, the specific dimension of Sharia, what does it mean? It means those parts of the Islamic guidelines that are concerned with the rulings. Yani the rulings, okay, the part of Islam concerned with rulings. Now, when we discuss rulings in Islam, okay, we will not find that rulings are concerned or are limited to hudud, penal punishment, as so many people think, or the Muslim personal law. No, rulings in Islam is a very wide statement, or it encompasses so many wide ranges of ahkam and aspects of Islam. For example, salah. Okay, salah. How do we pray? There are certain guidelines, there are certain rulings that, okay, we have to follow in order to pray. So, is salah part of Sharia or not? Yes, it is part of Sharia. But many people, and especially non-Muslims, they don't understand it like this. They think that Sharia is what either the personal law or the hudud. No, but salah is what? Part of Sharia. How to make wudu is part of Sharia. How to dress is part of Sharia. The dress code for sisters is part of Sharia. Halal meat that we eat is part of Sharia. Banking system is part of Sharia. Okay? That's why when we talk about this, we will realize that already there are already many aspects of Sharia that have been implemented in the UK, whether they like it or they don't like it. Yeah? Masajid are built. Muslims are practicing many aspects of their faith. Actually, they are implementing many aspects of Sharia, whether they like it or not. So, once we talk about Maqaasid al-Sharia, we have to realize that whether we define Sharia in its wider sense, that it is al-Islam, or we define Sharia in its specific sense, both are linked. And Sharia, in its specific meaning, okay, more or less is Islam, and is very attached to Islam. So that's why, brothers, when we want to talk about Maqaasid al-Sharia, we have to talk about Maqaasid al-Islam. Okay? Because if we consider that Sharia is part of Islam, it is the integral part, it is the biggest part of Islam, Sharia. So, any maqsad of Sharia should be the maqsad of Islam. Any maqsad for Islam should be the maqsad of Sharia. Any aim, because look at it as a big company, yeah, and a small department. The department has certain aims to achieve at the end of the year. Those aims this department should achieve should be inconsistent with what? The aims of the whole company. Yeah? And the aims, the far aims, the ultimate aims of the whole company should be also the far aims of that department. But maybe that department will be concerned about specific aims that at the end of the day will lead to the higher supreme aims of the big company. Is that true or not? This is very important. That's why when we talk about Maqaasid al-Sharia, we have to talk about Maqaasid al-Islam, and this is the second misconception. Yeah? Talking about Maqaasid al-Sharia, we have to talk about Maqaasid al-Islam. Many people, they separate. They talk about Maqaasid al-Sharia, they talk about the legal aspects of Islam, the different rulings, specifically the rulings related to the social life, the political life, the economical life, and fiqh. But no, we have to talk about Maqaasid al-Islam in general. Okay? That is the second misconception. As I told you, we will talk about those misconceptions and we will mention those misconceptions while we are talking about different parts of the topic. For example, now we are talking about the definition of the title, Maqaasid al-Sharia. What is Maqaasid and what is Sharia?